Good morning, good morning, good morning. First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning. Me.
If this ain't a Monday, I don't know what is.
Man. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Talking to myself.
On 1 2, on 1 2. Check, check, check.
Check, check.
Yo, yo. How you sound over there, buddy?
Check, check. This thing gone.
Loud and clear. Time to get up and move your body.
Hey. Move your body. Move your body. Move your body. Don't hurt nobody.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd. Chad Chimers. Oh, here we go. Chad Chimers, ghost listeners, radio listeners.
Everybody.
If this ain't a Monday, I don't know what is.
We tired, boss.
Man. Good morning to y'all. Hope that you're not as tired as us.
Man.
It's been a long weekend. Thanks for joining us.
Feel like I'm feeling like last week and the weekend just all on my back, like right here.
Wow.
Right here. Yeah.
Monday, August 14th, 2023. Yeah, it feels like the last 2 weeks definitely has been on our backs. I don't know how you guys are feeling. Let us know in the chat. That woman gives us a good morning. She says, I should say good chilly morning. Yeah, it's a little chilly this morning. Yeah.
Okay.
Supposed to only be up to 75 today, so.
Really, it's been super rainy here. Like so bad that I've lost power twice in the last like 3 or 4 days.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean trees everywhere, man. Yeah, it was looking kind of bad the other day.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. You ever like in a storm just like standing looking out the window, like man.
Always. The only thing is that storms in Nebraska seem like only last like about 45 minutes or something like that. I'm like, oh good, this is gonna be a good rainy day, and then 45 minutes later it'd be hot.
Yeah. It's been the same case here, man. It'd be like muggy and hot, and for like the first couple hours, and then get to about 1 o'clock, starts to get gray. Thunder starts coming in. Winds get to whipping. Yeah.
Juana Lewis gives us a good morning. Speaking of hot this weekend, kind of drove around. I actually got caught in the parade.
Really?
Yeah. I made the mistake of going down to downtown to get coffee from Starbucks, going to Starbucks downtown, forgetting all about that the parade was there. People had been setting up for hours already, so it was stuck. It was just traffic, stuck in traffic, and I ended up getting stuck in traffic down Farnham. Hold on.
Yeah, you got to be right for the story.
Got to be right for this. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Difficulties already.
Man.
My bad, y'all. Yeah. Okay, that's better. That woman said, I attempted to turn the heat on. My budget refuses. I heard that. Yeah. Is that cold? Are you that cold?
Maybe layer up a couple blankets.
Man. Okay. Well, anyway, yeah, it was super hot. Got caught on Farnham where all the festivities was going. Police had to turn me around. I almost
Oh
joined
man,
the parade. Uh,
might as well slip on in.
for those of you that went to the parade, we cannot wait to talk to you about the parade. It was it was huge. It was super. It was like the whole state felt like it came out
Man, I mean, I seen Gene Leahy Mall jam packed like sardines
jam packed,
with the folk.
jam packed.
I'm trying to think, man. Has there ever been a parade for the whole city? Like, has there ever been a parade? You got your Benson Days parade and your Omaha Days and your Florence Days and your Bellevue Days and Gretna Days, and everybody has their own day and parade and things like that. But has there ever actually been a parade, through downtown or Cummings or Farnham?
I
This
mean,
is
they had to have been. People used to do parades all the time for everything all the time, but I can't imagine that it's probably been years since it was something like
decades.
this. Yeah, decades for sure. I guess not for sure. I don't know. We let us know if
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
been another
hey,
parade. I haven't seen anything this big since I've been here in 2010. This was huge.
man. So we could say at least one decade.
At least one. Let us know if you guys were out there. I know Brother Sanchez was out there. He said it was a beautiful day.
Man.
Josh Tate said Pride is huge parade. Oh, that's right. Pride
Yeah,
has a huge
Pride,
parade every
Pride.
year. Yep, yep.
Okay, Pride through downtown.
Women's march. Forgot about that parade.
Yeah, yeah, that goes through downtown.
Huge too. There've been some big ones, but yeah, this was all
Man,
right. Josh Tate says Pride huge parades every year, but this one was close to that. Tamika Johnson said it was fantastic. So we got some people that went down. Chad Chimers went down. Tell us about it. We want to
yeah,
know.
yeah. You
Want
bring
to
out
know.
the bike, Jr.
Was you did you bike down? And
Yeah.
I saw some. He shot some video down there too. I saw some of his footage.
Okay.
Appreciate that, Mayor Sanchez. But yeah, yeah, it's all that everybody can talk about right now. It was the talk of the town. It was that huge.
Man, beautiful, beautiful. I think Brother Von Chapman shared some video on Friends of. So if you did not get to make it, there are clips around for you to
Oh
check
yeah,
out for your viewing pleasure.
yeah.
I also heard Channel 7 streamed it.
Oh, did they stream the whole thing? I have to go
Yeah, I
back.
think so. That's what Precious McKesson has said.
Okay, see, that's why everybody was in on it this time.
Man.
That's really real. Man, this is crazy. My friend from Hawaii that I was worried about in Maui is calling me right now. I'm gonna have to text and let her know I'm gonna call her back. But I'm not. This that huge situation over there turned out to be a fire and a fire that burned the whole city down. This is the worst fire tragedy in ever. They said.
Really?
Yeah, they said that's how many people died. In
Mm.
this Hawaii situation. I'm sorry to switch gears on you that fast. I just
I mean, that's real time. You said they're calling you.
real time calling, yeah, I was really trying to catch up on. It's unfortunate she's calling right now. I'll call her back though.
Well,
But
actually, would there be a way to patch her in? I kind of would.
I'm not. I can't get all. No, I wouldn't do. First of all,
Okay,
yeah, I'd
okay.
have to clear that and then all that stuff. But yeah, let me. I will definitely reach back out and find out what's going on. I was actually really kind of worried because she lives in the exact town that this fire
Mm.
started in and burned down. And I've been getting reports from people that are like, the news is not even telling like how bad this is. People were jumping in the water to avoid being burned up. People were drowning. Kids drowning in kids catching fire in cars. I mean, like it was the most one of the most terrible things that has gone. I mean, they said it was the worst. It's the worst fire in history. I mean, just miles and miles and miles of town burned down to the ground, and also reports coming out about like fire hydrants that weren't working, systems, alarm systems. The sirens not going off. People not knowing that this was happening and trying to get out and getting caught in it.
Mm.
So yeah, I had to kind of put that out there. I wanted to say that anyway. I wanted to kind of give people an update of what went down in Hawaii and just kind of thoughts and prayers to everybody that's out there. And if you got people out there that you were checking on, if they let us know if they called in, let us know how things are because they're still finding dead people right now out there. It's one of the biggest tragedies ever. So hit close to home for me with some folks I haven't really talked to yet. They're on a different island, but If it affected one of the islands around it too. So I mean, it was just that big. It was such a
That's man. You hmm. Have you heard of reports of like smoke in other islands too? Just one island or
smoke too. Yeah. Yeah. Amy H. Dot in the chat says infrastructure failures for sure. Yeah, bad news, bad news. Like I said, I wanted to kind of keep on talking about this parade because it was just the biggest thing.
mm-hmm.
So sorry to switch gears on everybody like that, but yeah, real time call from the area. I need to get back on. I'll
Definitely,
text her, let her know. We'll talk a little later.
definitely.
Miss Erica Phil said Oprah been over there, helping and promises to make a huge donation once it's learned exactly what can help. I appreciate she didn't just donate to Red Cross. Yeah.
Yeah.
She said Omaha has some cars. In the parade. She's talking about.
Mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
didn't know this until the parade. Yeah. It was. I think the other day when we reported on the Hawaii situation, it was 23 dead, and it's up to 56 now, and they're still finding folks, and hundreds, thousands of people displaced. Whole city. There's signs going out saying Hawaii's closed. They're sending this to the airport, the airlines. Maui is closed right now. So don't try it. Don't even if you were coming out, cancel. If you had hotel reservations, cancel. They need the hotels for people that are displaced right now.
Yeah.
So they're kind of cutting off travel. Infrastructure failure for sure. That's what I'm getting from this,
Mm.
and it's unfortunate. Makes me definitely want to look into saying infrastructure stuff here.
Oh yeah.
They do siren tests and stuff like that here for tornadoes and things that come, but you got to really kind of keep up with that kind of stuff. You never know what's gonna happen these days, man.
Actually, I'm hearing reports that depending on how bad this winter gets, we could have more power system failures,
Exactly.
which is
Marion
a
Williams,
real concern.
real concern, real concern. We found out that we were on that Texas grid.
Yep.
Marianne Williams says, my fam is all accounted for and safe, but it will be a mess for a long time. Maui is the second largest island in a group of tiny islands, and people need to stay away.
That's what I was going to ask as far as like Hawaii. I have no reference, geographically. Like, is it small? Like, how close are the islands? Like, what is that like?
Yeah, it all differs. Maui, like she's saying, Maui is the second largest island. You still hop a plane to get over there.
Okay, so there's no
flight is
bridges
15, 20
connecting all
minutes.
the islands.
No, nothing like that. No. But like some flights are 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Some flights are 45. It just depends on which island you're going to. Hop around that. But they were to the airlines' credit, they were giving like $19 flights and $1 flights and all kinds of stuff to help get people off or help people get around to the different islands. They're just in crisis mode for the displaced right now. That just lost everything. Amy H. Dot says same thing happened in Puerto Rico for Hurricane Maria. Getting supplies and things to the islands during a disaster is a big issue.
Man,
too bad we don't have Trump over there tossing paper towels to him over there. Maui need paper towels too. Speaking of Trump and DeSantis were in Iowa
really?
recently. Yeah, just kind of reminded me about how close what's around us. So yeah, just a kind of interesting story. I got no story for that. They were just here.
They're just there. Yeah.
It was weird. Yeah.
Well, also speaking of that, we have some news coming out of Kansas talking about our neighbors. Yeah. Hey man, we gotta talk about that. We definitely gonna have to talk about that. Newspaper was raided. Yeah.
Yeah. I always say this. Being a journalist is one of the most gangster things you can do right now. It's a war on journalists for real. So we'll see how long in a state that leans more towards authoritarianism, and how long they're gonna let us have free speech. How long they're gonna let us? How much you gonna have to fight for it?
Man, yeah, we'll definitely get into that.
Look at this, man.
Amy H. Dot.
This is what she said.
My family were just talking about those damn paper towels.
Fool went over there, tossed some paper towel. Welcome to a somber edition of First Sky Omaha in the morning. We started happy with a parade, but now we're talking about other things. But we'll go ahead and get the show started. Lots to talk about, actually. And remember, this is Monday, so the senators will be on today. Brother Senators Terrell, McKinney, and Justin Wayne. and we can talk about what's going on the state of Nebraska, state of Omaha. Some things is feeling real good here, man. That parade made us feel real good.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff that went down with legislation, lots of the funds that these guys are fighting for. There's a lot of good stuff happening in small business. I like
Oh yeah.
the article we pulled on that. How many black businesses thrived because of the parade and all that is stuff we'll talk about too. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get this show on the road. Help us to wake up, y'all. It's been a
Man.
long weekend for us, and we're trying to do our best. But we thank you for joining us for another fresh edition of First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of
Hey,
you chat chimers, ghost listeners, radio listeners.
you name it.
Let's start the show. What up? What up? What up? Good morning. Good morning. Again, this is First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
I'll be Buddi3 Da Gawd. All of you chat chimers, ghost listeners, radio listeners already let me know that the mix was good this morning. I appreciate that very much. Remember, if you want to hear a celebration of black music, you can go to firstskyOmaha.com, hit the listen button, check us out 24/7. And of course, during the show, we will be here. You will hear us doing the morning show there too. So that's what's up. Appreciate everybody coming on this morning. We're still talking about a lot of things that went down over the weekend. Of course, we had happy news. The parade. Omaha showed up. I got one photo that kind of represents a little bit about
Man.
just how many people was out there, bro.
A sea of folk.
As far as the eye can see what you
Man.
see. Yeah, lots of folks. And let us know if you were out there. We want to know about what your experience was, how you felt. One thing I do love about social media, man, you can check out everybody's photos, everybody's videos, their testimony. You can see how prideful everybody, the pride that was exhibited, the happiness that people felt out there. It was hot as all get up, but they were still out there hard, man. Everybody was representing, giving the champ his flowers, and the smile on the champ's face.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You seen them pictures, right?
I see videos, everything. I was kind of lurking on social media myself, trying to live vicariously, if you will. And yeah, it seems like Bud felt the love, felt the energy from the city, man. So yeah, man. Kudos to Bud. Also, been watching him on his media run. He's in New York on all the shows and Breakfast Club, and he's doing it big, man. The
Yeah,
way it's supposed to be done. So
it's his
definitely good.
moment. It's his moment.
And it's been a long time coming. Like they say, it takes 10 years to make an overnight success. And if you're paying attention, that's a real statement, man. He's been at it for a while, all the way from, Olympic Golden Gloves champion legend to now. Like he's definitely been deserving of what he has. But it's,
And
it's
like
nice to see him finally get it.
and like he's saying, he's putting Omaha on the map. When he wins, we win. Really, you know what
I
I mean?
mean,
So
Omaha's literally on his back every fight. You know what I mean? Literally, and on the back of his trunks, Omaha.
for real, uh, it's all in the news. It's the talk of the town right now that during this whole thing, Mean Gene offered him this land across the street from B&B. Even Brother Knight's talking about it. Says shout out to Mayor Stother for selling that land to the boxing academy.
Man,
Which
$1.
is dope. Yeah, man. It's basically the city gifting them some land. He's gonna do good with it. There's B&B there across the way. They're gonna make a bigger facility. Turn out some athletes.
That's nice. I've been wondering what could happen. So that's right across the street, I think, from the transit center, the bus transit center.
hmm Yep. So I didn't even realize. I mean, I used to live by there, pass by there all the time. Didn't even really realize that was. I thought that was part of the school or something. Right around there.
Yeah, I thought that was a part of the transit center.
Yeah. So that's what's up, man. I mean, if you can see B&B Boxing is a pretty big facility. You can see it down there.
Mhm.
It's a pretty big facility, so I can imagine what kind of facility they're gonna be able to put on this land now. And that's a good that's cool. What do y'all feel like that investment in North Omaha is worthy of some kind of praise? Like I said, Brother Knight is saying what do you say? He said shout out to the mayor,
Man, yeah, yeah. And the
giving
whole
Mean Gene some praise for this one.
Yeah, and I think Bud gave a shout out to the city of Omaha Human Relations Department has something to do with it. Yeah, man, I've mentioned it before, and I think this is a sign of more to come as far as Omaha, the city of Omaha being the center of the boxing universe. Again, I don't know how much anybody is into boxing, but a lot of investment, a lot of money, a lot of people are going to start coming to Omaha to train at that gym.
Yeah.
And again, there's already more fighters, more champions about to come out of that stable. Shakur Stevenson is up next. Shakur
Mm,
Stevenson is up next. Steven Soko Nelson, who's also a champion, who's also at that parade and who also deserves a piece of the recognition. And actually, I didn't know he designed a lot of Bud's gear. I didn't even know that. Yeah, yeah,
mm,
it's all in house. But he's a champion as well. There's a young dude from Virginia who fights kind of trains under the Bud camp. Like
mm.
there's a lot of good things, and just with that expansion, you know,
Yeah.
you know,
Marlon Harrison in the chat, he said, I met 3 people who came all the way from Chicago just to be at that parade. He
a
bringing
lot
them
of
in, bringing them in
bringing
from
them
out
in,
of town. That's
bringing them in
like the
from all
highest
over the
praise.
world.
It's like the highest praise you can give anybody in Omaha. They done brought somebody to this place.
Mm.
Marlon Harrison said, "Good morning. I did so much on Saturday and Sunday. I don't know how I'm up this Monday morning,
Okay,
bro.
all attention pointed towards the parade. What else went down? What else did you do?
I'm first of all, I'm saying I feel your pain. I feel your pain strongly. I couldn't say it better myself. I don't even know how I'm up this Monday morning, so I appreciate you. Yeah, what else went down? Let us know. Amy H. Dot said it's about time the city does this. I hear that.
Hmm.
Mr. Fell said definitely a good look. Brother Mayor Sanchez says yes, yes, yes. Omaha will be the Mecca. That's
I'm
what's
telling
up.
you, man, the center of the boxing world, kind of like how Vegas was, and everybody is, going to the fight with Pretty Boy Floyd and Money Mayweather and the whole, money camp, the money team.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I come from where I come from in California. De La Hoya was his whole camp was up in the
Hmm.
mountain right above us.
Hmm.
They used to go train where the air was thinner so they can get their endurance longer.
Yeah,
All that
yeah.
stuff. So yeah, man, the little boxing meccas here and there. That's what it's about. Brother Stuart Knight said she must have read my comment from Monday on the parade on this show. She probably did. Mayor Stother I think she'd be listening. I think she'd be coming through. I think she's a ghost listener sometime.
Man. Well,
Um,
I think we're looking at Miss Erica Felt comment.
yeah, go ahead.
It just kind of clicked on me what she was talking about. She says, I can't find video of Caillou being booed. I heard it was epic. If someone has it, please share with me. I need it for cloudy days. And
Yeah,
I'm thinking she's talking about Ricketts.
Ricketts was in town. Yeah, that was funny because I did see that. They got a whole bunch of them got booed, and it was like they were like, okay, watch out now because she's gonna be after y'all. She know everybody who booed, and she
I saw that. I saw that.
I saw you. Yeah, man. Yeah, let us know. Were you part of the booing squad? I kind of just want to hear like from people that were there. If you guys were there, definitely. And if you ghost listener too, chime up, chime up. I want to hear about what went down. We unfortunately had our not unfortunately, but we did our journalism training class, our content creator camp that day, and unfortunately, our instructor could only make it. The latest that she could come was 11, so some of us didn't get to go to the parade. And like I said, I went and got caught in the traffic for a
Man.
little bit, and that's how I saw things. And then our class, we didn't get a whole lot of people in the class this time. I think, we kind of encouraged everybody go give the champ some props. Like
Man.
we'll do the best we can on that. Whitney Richardson says I was definitely part of the booing squad, so she was down there. She's part of the content creators camp too. So that's what I was saying. I was like, yeah, if y'all choose to do that, then we fully understand. Go ahead and check it out.
Hmm.
Uh, brother Sanchez says the booing was loud. Crickets laughed it off.
Hmm. Okay.
Marlon Harrison, when Mayor Stothard, Don Bacon, Pete Ricketts, and Jim Pillen walked into in the parade, everybody was either booing or just staying silent. I love
Yeah.
it. I love it.
Yeah, I did want to go back and acknowledge a comment from Amy H. Dot before it got too deep in
Yeah.
the in the pile of
Thank you.
comments.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, because it's relevant to what we were feeling earlier. She says that is life. We have to acknowledge and bring light to the disaster in Hawaii while celebrating the good. The parade and celebration for Bud was pure joy. So,
Man, good comment. Good comment. I
yeah,
love
yeah, yeah. I had to work that in there, man.
it. Yeah, that's what's up, man. I totally agree. Totally agree. It was that's we have been talking about it a lot, and we've been thinking about it a lot, and just um, you know, it's like Omaha needs a break sometime, man. And we were kind of skeptical, of course, who put the parade on. We were a little bit like, But as soon as I heard Precious was involved and she was kind of organizing some things, and then they started reading off the list of like black businesses that was going to be a part of this.
Oh
I was like,
man.
okay, they really it's about to go down. And then the buzz surrounding it, like on Friday, just the buzz surrounding everybody. Everybody was gonna be there, man. Everybody's gonna be there for real.
Actually
Treat them
got the
well.
list of businesses. Um, I mean, Best Burger, Island
Mhm.
Chill, Taste of Heaven, Still Poppin' was out there. Mama Renee's.
Yeah, good list, a good list for sure. And also, there was an article about about how that black business thrives. They talked to the cats over at Best Burger. We'll talk about that a little later on in the show. But yeah, I'm really anxious to hear about that. And when the senators come on a little later too, would love to hear about their experience and what happened too. I mean, it's just one of them things, man. It's just a point of pride. This is something that doesn't happen all the time, and I really kind of was happy about like how it went down. Real skeptic. I don't know why I was skeptical about like it, just who was throwing it and what was going on with it. I was
Mhm.
feeling a little bit like I guess I was just feeling a little bit like yeah, they love him now. That you know what I'm saying. Like
Mhm.
yeah, we've been reporting about him getting harassed by police and all kinds of stuff like that. Now they're throwing a parade for him. I'm like, okay,
That part. That part.
but all in all, I'm glad that she did it. I'm glad the city did it. He definitely deserves that, and I hope big things will come from it.
Yeah, yeah. And what type of unity can come from this? Like, the city really coming out. It seems like people really did come out. And it seems like no real complaints. I'm not hearing in the midst of all of this, not hearing a lot of reports of foolishness or any chaos or anything like that. It seems like everything was on the up and up and positive. So
It's a
yeah,
family affair for sure, man.
man. So hopefully, I'm just saying, hopefully we can see more activity like that in the city and downtown. Bring out more people, man.
When I was down kind of north, getting stuff ready for the content creators camp. I saw a lady standing out at the bus stop with her lawn chair, with her what I call the jazz on the green chairs.
Mm-hmm.
She had a
Mm-hmm.
chair with her. She was getting ready to catch the bus to go down to the parade.
Man,
I was like, man,
making it happen. But on a real tip, man, like especially with the James Skurlock situation.
yeah,
Like that kind of was a culmination of a lot of energy and a lot of feelings of not feeling welcomed downtown for certain people. And I feel like, we talk about this Gene Leahy Mall, but it's seeming like that feeling is changing. I don't know, maybe somebody can let me know if they agree or disagree. But I'm seeing more and more of that, like feeling like, okay, this is a space for everybody. People. I went down there with my children. I felt welcome.
hmm yeah, yeah. It's definitely. I'm definitely impressed. I was skeptical about that too. I was skeptical when they started making changes. I was like, what are they gonna do down there?
Man, be a
But
bunch of country artists coming down. You know what I'm saying? Just more of the same. Like,
yeah, we're in a different time, man. I'm happy. I'm happy to be wrong with that kind of stuff. I'm happy.
yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? I thought like you said, Steelhouse. I thought Steelhouse was when they put Steelhouse up. It was like, well, how many venues can we have out here? When they go, like what? There's only so many stars, only so many pop stars. Only what are we gonna
Man,
do?
'cause that's all they have. Like any hip hop, any other diverse anything, you gotta go to Lincoln. It seems like Lincoln always got it. You know
Lincoln
what I
always
mean? You
got
have to go to Lincoln to go to the hip hop shows. Nobody really ever comes to unless it's like Beyonce. You know what I mean?
it. Right. But as we well know, George Clinton, first of all,
Hey.
He's gonna get down in September at the Steelhouse. Get your tickets for that, man. We're gonna have a good time with that.
Yeah, man.
Let's have a good time when George Clinton comes to town, man. No matter what. The very next day, Chappelle's in town. So you talking about like diverse shows.
Man.
You talking about, stuff that we was wishing would come here. You know what I mean? So 17th and 18th September. And more and much more to come, man. Even this band, Tower of Power. I don't know how much you know about the old school band.
Man.
Tower of Power is my first recollection, my first memory of a concert. It was outside. I was sitting in the front row, and just horns to the left of me, horns to the right of me.
Oh, man.
Yeah, man. Tower of
Okay.
Power.
I think a few people gave Tower Power some love during our hip hop conversation, and had some early hip hop memories of Tower Power and some love there.
That's what's up, man. I appreciate you guys all joining in on the chat here. I was gonna say, brother, Mayor Sanchez says it would have been nice to see some gates or tape up to keep people out of the street. It got tough to see at the end. Okay,
Okay.
a lot too many people out there, I guess.
Logistics.
Yep, for sure. Also, Wanda Lewis said that would have been a great article for the Omaha Star. This is the reason why we're trying to do a content creators camp right now, so we can build out journalists that can do stuff like go work for the Omaha Star. Omaha Star still needs journalists. We all need every entity needs black journalists for real.
Man.
All the high dollar ones, the Omaha Star, but it's also the Omaha World Herald,
Mhm.
also Channel 7. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody needs black journalists to be covering some of these types of things. But this parade in particular was covered very well by all of the media, all mainstream media. They did a whole lot of articles on this.
Yeah.
Everybody was out.
Brother Mark Menor earlier actually confirming, what I was saying. He said he did not get to make it. He had to be at work, but was able to watch do the Channel 7 streaming it. So
Yeah.
yeah, big shout out. Big shout out.
He also said they did free buses that day too. I forgot about that. So free
Okay.
bus rides down to the yep. So that's what's up. Really appreciate that. She Wanda Lewis is saying with that. She said it definitely well covered by the street journalists though. Yes,
Hey.
the content creators. Yeah, I love it.
There you go. There you go.
Meters and buses were free for the parade. That was great. A great look, actually. That's good. You know how I feel about the meters, parking meters. So they was free. So that's what's up.
City could have easily looked at this as a quick come up, like, yeah,
We go get them.
we're gonna get them.
But I will say what was good about this was what happened with a lot of the black businesses that got signed up to come and be the vendors for this. Maybe we can jump into that and talk about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's go ahead. Speaking of, coverage and reporting, KET7 definitely gave North Omaha businesses specifically some light, gave them a platform to voice exactly how they experience the parade. And looks like they came up. Again, small businesses from North Omaha specifically rushed to prepare for Bud Crawford's victory parade. Businesses brought up bulks of meat, while others assembled hundreds of hamburgers, especially my man Best Burger. Man, yeah, they go down.
They get down for real.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. He says it's a good thing, I'm very proud of Terrence Crawford. He inspires everyone in our community. Definitely, definitely. So, also, Mama Renee's owner, Renee Jones, is picking up wings and turkey legs Friday. So, again, a lot of good eating out there. She says an opportunity of a lifetime for me is going to flourish. She said, receiving a call to participate in Thursday again. Precious posted a video and some comments on social media kind of expressing how that process was, and that was definitely a big question of ours. So definitely nice to see North O businesses getting some love. Even speaking of love, brother Preston Love Jr. In the article also says he's our asset. He says there are so many other assets in North Omaha that can bring so much joy and economics to the rest of Omaha. Boxing fan Universal says Best Burger is assembling 400 to 500 burgers and is happy to team up with Crawford for the event. So that's big news. And I will say also, to brother Preston Love Jr.'s point, as far as showcasing the assets of North Omaha and what North Omaha has to offer, is a perfect time as we get into again this economic recovery fund, and again hundreds of $1 million going into North Omaha. Just some can point to this event as a tip of the iceberg. Like, we've been saying a long time North Omaha is the tide that rises all boats. Like if we actually get some investment, actually get some, some real energy going in North Omaha, how much will that affect the greater city, the greater metro area? And I hope that this, event is looked at in that aspect.
Very true. Amy H. Dot said, Precious said they couldn't have it in North O, but they definitely brought North O to downtown.
Right.
Which is I love that statement because we were talking about this on the show with the senators last week. How come we couldn't do the parade down 24th Street or down 30th or something for the champ? And it was just we figured out it's very much a logistical thing. There's so many people that were going to come. They needed the space, and that's how it worked out. That's really how it worked out, man. There was just so many people that came out that it was almost too many people. It was almost too tight.
Yeah.
So
As Mayor
yeah,
Sanchez said, got a little crazy at the end. People pouring in the streets.
pouring in the streets, which is really insane. So yeah, man, just a beautiful thing. We felt the reverberations of it, even those of us that didn't make it down there. We just kind of felt it in a big way. It was just really interesting to witness, to see the horde that just people upon people upon people, man, just shot. And just it was kind of shocking a little bit too to see this many people out there because I don't how many people are actually boxing fans. How many? I mean, like if you know what I'm saying. Like
Hmm.
first of all, it always shocks me when tons of people come out because you always think of Omaha as like this place that doesn't have the numbers. But when something is going down,
Man, I mean, you see it.
people become of all backgrounds come out, of all backgrounds.
From all sides of town.
It's interesting. So yeah, that's what's up, and man. Shout out to all those businesses that went out and did that. Shout out to Precious and everybody who put that together to make sure that we had North Omaha represented down there.
Mhm.
That's what's up. Really appreciate that very much.
Yeah, and they also talk about the cars in the chat, not just the businesses. We all for the car culture, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, Amy H. Dot says Humble Auto showed out. Miss Erica Felt also saying, I didn't know Omaha had more than a couple of cars. So
bro,
people brought the toys out.
man, I'm sick of these parades passing me by when I ain't got little lucky out yet. I got to get a little lucky buffed up.
Man,
I got to look up what's going on with Humble Auto. I got to see what's up, man. I'm
yeah,
looking
yeah,
for
yeah,
looking
yeah.
for a place that restores classic cars. Let's get going.
Okay.
Miss Fairfield said, I think many weren't there for boxing. They were there for the community. I was wondering, yeah, I was, just what I'm thinking, like how many people know Bud, first of all, but it's such a community thing that the people that probably aren't even boxing fans at least know the story that this brother is
Mhm.
putting Omaha on the map in a big way.
Man, I mean, but it is like I gotta tell you, man, like the feeling was palpable growing up as far as like feeling like just destitute and like just hopelessness in Omaha, especially coming from North Omaha. I'll be honest.
Mhm.
Like, we talked about me potentially moving back and things like that, but there's something to be said about making it out per se. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Making it upward, coming from North Omaha. So, it really is more than just a boxing champ from Omaha. This is really a kid that and we talk about programs and things for youth. We had a whole conversation last week with the senators about sports and the multi-million dollar sports complex that's coming in North Omaha as a part of LB 1024.
Mm.
Bud Crawford could easily be in Nebraska State Pen right now
Yeah.
had it not been for a boxing program that helped him, redirect his life and now look at what he's doing for the city. So, yeah, man, it's definitely huge. It's definitely huge. And the community aspect is a big part of it.
Most def. Here's a list of some of the businesses that were out there from Precious. Best Burger, Island Chill, Taste of Heaven, Mobile Restaurant, places I haven't even heard of. Mama Renee's, Lady T's Gourmet Creations, Pound Cake
Yeah.
Experts. You know what I'm saying? Look at all these people that came out, man. That's what's up. Knockout Haircuts is out there, probably lining folks up.
Okay.
Honeybee Hive. The list goes on. So that's what she said. Later that night, we'll cap it all off with a celebration of Steelhouse Omaha, put on by Dre Rash Productions, Humble Auto, Power 106, T Marshall. Official DJ for the night was DJ Bishop. So put on your finest clothes and come on out. So that, I mean, they had this thing laid out, after party and all.
Man,
I did see pictures from the after party too, which I thought
yeah.
was awesome. Man, he was still smiling, but look at you. He can look at you one way, and you about to get beat. And then
Mhm.
there's times when he's just without any inhibition at all, smiling with all his teeth. And that's how he was on Saturday, man, all day and night.
Man.
And that's what's up. Appreciate that, brother. And more I watch interviews with him and stuff like that, the more I'm like just appreciative of this brother. Like
And
doing,
I wonder what kind of energy like Bud is gonna bring to the community of North Omaha. And I'm talking about, like, let's be honest, the streets. Let's be honest. I've seen a few people post some videos from that after party, and Bud kind of made a speech. I wanted to get more into what he said, but it was something along the lines of, getting back to the old school, getting back to house parties, getting back to, having fun and being able to go outside and do things without worrying about, people acting up and foolishness and violence. Like, there was a time, and Bud remembers that time. And I wonder if anybody went to the after party, caught the speech, kind of got a glimpse of what he's talking about. Because a moment like that can change things. You know what I mean? As far as just the energy in the city.
big time, man, big time. Von Chapman in the chat. Good morning. He said everyone loves a real winner. This buzz for you. I like what he's saying there, because that's what I'm saying too. You know what I'm saying? Like last time we talked about, last time we reported on him, he was kind of getting harassed by the cops. You know what I'm saying? Like he come back to his hometown after going out and winning and coming back and getting harassed a little bit with like
Hmm.
he's just some dude. But some of the wins that he had now are so big. Isn't there? He's undeniable. He's undeniable. Chrissy Nor in the chat. Good morning. She said she had to work.
Mm.
Um, same here. Same here. Like
Right.
it could have been a lot more people out there. I'm quite sure, but but it was still the turnout was ridiculous. Also, Brother Knight said earlier in the chat. Brother Knight said he saw people he ain't seen in years. And then also here he says, I didn't know Omaha had so many black police.
Hmm.
Okay, so you saw some things out there. His eyewitness testimony there out there and seeing what's going on. Amy H.
Man,
Dot said, when someone from your town rises to the top like that, it's a point of pride for the entire city, sports fan or not, worldwide.
big facts.
Feel that. I feel that. Mr. Erkenfeld says, I loved there were so many black owned security. I credit that for why there was no incidents. Sounds like BAA
Mm.
was out there, maybe.
BAA was definitely out there. Every
Yeah,
time I saw Bud, Brother Kasim was right there on post,
there with him.
vested up and everything. So yeah, definitely shout out to the BAA. I'm not sure the name of the actual security, force that Brother Kasim works with or owns. But yeah, definitely shout out to those brothers. Definitely saw them in effect doing the work, man.
That's
So
what's up, man.
maybe.
Malik Rogers says in the chat, then petition signatures and voter registration numbers going to be huge. Were they out there getting those signatures? Were they out there doing it?
Going to work.
That's another aspect, putting the work in. Whitney Richardson said, I would like to see every politician on that stage to invest resources into the same community that Crawford grew up in.
There you go.
You know,
That's what I said earlier. I don't know if you caught my comment earlier, Whitney, but yeah, hopefully people see this parade as, a proof of concept that investment in North Omaha can go somewhere. Investment in North Omaha can benefit the city. North Omaha again is, I like to call it the tide that rises all boats. Like it's gonna go up. If
yeah.
North Omaha goes up.
I think we reported a few weeks back that Bud was also the owner. He also purchased that OOIC building
Yeah.
across the street from his own his own shop. So it looks like there's going to be, I love to see him and B&B Boxing Academy, owning some property in North O, man, and because they already proved their proof of concept is B&B. So many kids go to B&B. So many kids are getting so much out of it. That whole community, that whole little complex. It's
Mhm.
not just boxing over there either. They do other sports. They're in conjunction with the YMCA over there too. So they go over there and train. For a minute when I lived over in that area, man, I'd stop over and get my bag on at B&B. Jump over to the Y. Houston Alexander be at the Y, play some ball.
Man,
You know what I'm
faithfully.
saying? The community, bro, and to think that there's gonna be more built right around there too. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be a
Mhm.
nice sports community, especially with the investment that's going into sports and stuff like that. through what the senators have been doing. We can talk to them more about. I think we really gonna shift gears talking to them about that stuff because they're really on that. They really kind of see that sports is what's gonna really save a lot of what's going on in the streets and
Hmm.
with kids. You know, put some money into that programs, like you're saying.
Yeah, man. The youth need something to do, man. They need something to do.
Big time. Love it, love it, love it. Appreciate everybody who's joining us right now. Kimber Snipes in the chat. Good morning to you. She said bodyguard protective is Kasim's business. So
Okay, okay.
he's
Thank you.
growing. I see more and more cats out there all the time too, man. That he's hiring more and more people all the time. Uh, oh, brother McKinney said he's 5 minutes behind. I appreciate that, brother McKinney. The senators will be on in a minute. Get your questions ready. The
Yeah.
senators will be on shortly, and I will be able to talk to them about some things that we got going on. But in the meantime, between time 7:45 right now, if you believe in the concept of time, just to let you know, if you're just joining us, you're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Call Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you we call chat chimers who's chiming in the chat this morning. We
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Real
And all
chimey, real chatty.
real real chimey, real chatty. I like that phrase. And all of you who are what we call ghost listeners as well, people that just kind of turn on, listen in, get some information. We appreciate you too, though, for doing that. Please tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. If you're on Facebook and YouTube, do us a favor and share the show. Let everybody get in. Share it to people that you think might benefit from this conversation and want to add to it. We want to get as many people in the community talking as we can,
Yeah.
and really appreciate that.
Yeah. You trying to jump
Meantime,
into some news?
huh? Yeah, we can jump into some news.
Yeah.
First, before we do that, though, I kind of want to just, we kind of glossed over it in the morning. We kind of just said we was tired, but how are you doing personally, buddy? What's going on with you,
Man,
man? How
yeah,
you
we,
feeling?
we usually do check in. I'm tired. I'm tired. My body hurts, boss. Spent the last 48 hours under vehicles and in hoods, and yeah, man, had to fix my vehicles. Cause living out here in Atlanta, you gotta be able to get around if you're gonna do anything.
You know how to
Uh,
do that?
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, man. Put a new alternator in in one car. I'm changing out spark plugs on another car. Yeah, yeah.
I'll be calling somebody.
I would, but they try to charge 2,000 and 3,000 and 11,000 every time I take my
Man,
car. Man, yeah, somebody try to get me to put a new engine in my car. Needless to say, I didn't do that, and still rolling once I get these spark plugs in. But yeah, man, yeah. They I don't know what it is. They be trying to tax, and I ain't got it. So, but I
I,
do have time to
I'll be
figure out
like,
how to do it myself.
I'll be like, this windshield wiper on the left side left 3 drops. Come and fix it.
Nah, nah. I'm definitely fixing my own cars, and I guess that kind of stems from like I come from a line of mechanics.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, man.
Both my father and stepfather, have worked on cars as long as I can remember. Grandfather was a mechanic. Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's what. Yeah, I come from a long line of musicians. They don't know nothing about no cars. Speaking of the long line of musicians, Pops told me to let you guys know that he's not. He's a little under the weather today, so he's not
Mm,
joining us. But he wanted to say hi and send all his love to the First Guy fam. So send some love to Pops, and hopefully he'll
man,
get a little bit get better soon. I'm
yes,
glad he's resting,
get well soon.
sleeping in.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, and all of you really just appreciate everybody. Let us know how you guys are doing too. Let us know how everybody
Yeah.
is. Brother Knight said that he was Brother Knight. Somebody said earlier that they had so much going on this weekend, didn't know they were gonna make it on Monday. I could feel that
Man,
in a real
oh,
life.
I think that was Marlon Harrison. I think
Oh yeah,
earlier,
brother Harris. Yeah.
yeah, right there along with you. I will say also though, I did continue my hip hop celebration
Yes.
over the weekend. If anybody follows me on Instagram, you might have saw a little the festivities on Friday night. Went to a DJ festival
Yes.
and met Warren G. Saw
Come on.
Dallas Austin get down on the ones and
Come on,
twos.
man.
Mr. College Park got down on the ones and twos, hung out with DJ Toomp a little bit. If you don't know DJ Toomp, did
Uh,
a lot of production for Kanye, all the Ti hits. What you know about that? Man, 24s, like a lot of the early Ti hits. DJ Toomp did those beats, so kind of got a chance to see him get down. DJ Jelly Roll, who was Outkast and Goody Mom's DJ
wow.
back in the day. Man, it went off, man. It went off in a big way, man. So yeah, definitely shout out to DJ Big X. Shout out to everybody that put the whole Genesis festival together. That was a beautiful thing. I'll say
That's
that
what's
was a
up, man.
highlight. At least I got to do that in between, rolling under cars.
Well, speaking of hip hop legends, we got one in the chat. We're gonna go ahead and bring in, ladies and gentlemen, my man, brother Senator Justin Wayne is in the house.
Hey,
What's
What's
going on?
up?
What's going
how's it
on, man?
going?
Oh man, now see, I done pulled up the restream speed test. I'm checking everything. I got the phone waiting in the wing. My man is tired from Cox. I saw him the other day. He was like, "Man, I'm tired of you talking about me on the show." So we're gonna figure it out today. I'm
That's
just
what's up,
I'm.
man.
If you see me looking at the other screen, I'm checking the speed test. We're gonna figure out the problem today.
I
Okay.
appreciate it. I hear you. I hear you, man. I appreciate it. I got one suggestion for you. I'll say that when you plug the computer directly into the modem and not use Wi-Fi, that usually helps a lot. And I know that means sometimes you got to get one of them 100 foot cords or something crazy and string it all through the house. But that usually helps. I got one right now that's just all the way through the living room.
Yep, same here. Same here. Had to give me
Yeah.
one of them 50-foot boys.
Yep. Yep.
You know what?
But
I'm gonna go ahead and buy one and just go ahead and do that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna,
that's
I'm,
what's
I'm
up.
gonna stop. I'm gonna stop fighting with Cox. We going.
Man, have you seen the people laying the fight? There's some fiber going around in the
So,
community.
so that's interesting you said that because there are two, I think, three new fiber companies. So obviously Google Fiber's in town.
Hmm.
My understanding they're gonna start through Dodge, and then once they hit downtown, go north and south. So they're planning on hitting East Omaha first.
Yep.
They've already started, and then there's two other companies that are all through North Omaha right now.
So they they
Man.
see,
Uh,
they see the need out there. They see that that's the biggest market right now.
right, right. So we hit it.
And
I feel like we're insiders, bro. Oh, my bad, buddy.
no, I mean you're right. You're right. I've been hearing like there's actually some funds coming for that as far as state investment for that type of infrastructure. Is that correct?
Yeah. So see now it hopped down to the now I'm back to green. Okay. Uh so no, so there is some state funds. So federal dollars are coming in. We'll have a little over 500 million over the next 4 to 5 years for state dollars who will go in, and it's supposed to be for our hardest hit areas, what people recognize during COVID. That includes us.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
so it'll be small towns, small villages, farmers down the line, and so we are working on that.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
gonna say we feel like insiders a little bit when because we've been knowing that you've been pushing for those helping try to push for those dollars too with the broadband money that can be coming into this area. And it's funny, as soon as Buddy called and he was like, "Yo, they're digging up the yard around here, getting ready to lay this fiber." We was like, "Here they come! Here come all the fiber companies, man! They know that money's coming, and they the ones that got the infrastructure already that can go ahead and get it started will because they probably are counting on getting some of that money coming." But it's
Hmm.
interesting to hear when you get to see businesses. I got a short mic cord this morning. Businesses chime up, when they chime up and then they're ready to go because they know some money's coming in, and then all of a sudden now we getting services.
Well,
And
from my perspective, the issue is we put over 100 and probably 120 million in. Well, actually, we put a billion over the last like 15 years, but the last 3 or 4 years, we put 100 something million in, and it
Wow.
hasn't made a dent. And so we've been asking companies where where's it at? What's the issue?
Mm.
And so the PSC, which is our Public Service Commission, they're elected too. That's one of those areas that we need to stay focused on. So what's interesting about Nebraska is, we're supposed to be a conservative state with small government, but we elect everybody. We got an OPPD board, we got Public Service Commission,
true.
OPS board, we got state senator, city council. You got to flip the page over when you start going in and voting to figure out all the people we vote for.
Right.
But our Public Service Commission, that's one that we got to spend some more time on educating people about how broadband dollars, because actually East Omaha was denied a grant last year
Mm.
from a company because Cox and other folks came in and said that we already got enough fiber for this particular grant. Now, whether they were right or wrong on that particular grant, I don't know the details of it as far as the overlay. But at the end of the day, we know we still need more fiber here.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Right.
Hey, we got brother Senator Terrell McKinney waiting in the wings. Go ahead and
Hey.
bring him in. There he is. Good morning, brother. Brother, how you doing,
Good
man?
morning. I'm good. How y'all
Peace.
doing?
Peace. Peace. All right, all right.
We
Um,
hang,
I,
we go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna ask about the Public Service Commission, but if you want to had a
Oh, I was
question,
just I was just going. I just want to make sure we check in with the brothers. Really didn't do that quite yet. How
yeah.
are you doing, senators? Just personally, how you guys feeling? How you guys doing right now, man?
I'm good.
Yep, brother
You know
McKinney.
what he say? When he say I'm good, that real short. He might say some things today that he ain't supposed to say.
Okay,
All
okay.
right, this is the place to do that. This is the place to do that. That's
Yeah,
what's up.
yeah. Well, make sure you get a moment to step on your
Uh,
soapbox if you need to.
nah, Senator McKinney was working Saturday night and Sunday morning. I got a text message from him when I was cutting the grass, laying out a whole bunch of stuff that we got to talk to the governor about. I was like, man, what inspired you? He said, man, we got to get this done. I said, all right, brother. It's
Okay,
10 a.m. on Sunday morning. Okay.
man. Last week y'all didn't want to think about the legislation. Nah, working through the night.
That's what's up, man.
Ah,
Before we get off that subject of the broadband stuff, Malik Rogers in the chat said, any black contractors effort for this?
man.
So I haven't seen any. I mean, so this is one of those industries where the startup is so expensive. I
Yeah.
mean, you don't want to have an MUD situation where you nick something and you blow up some stuff, nick a gas line or something like that. So, I mean, you got to go out and rent these tools, and you got to, there's a lot of right of way access. You got a lot of permitting. There's just a lot of costs. So I haven't seen anything, but I mean, I'd be more than happy to figure out how to help them.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah, that would be nice. As far as when we talk about it, all we know about is brother Bill King. That's about it. But yeah, it would be nice to see that type of situation. But I definitely agree. Like I just sat on my block and watched them lay fiber, and they were digging up holes and had trenches and big machines pulling. Like it's a lot going on. It's a whole situation. So definitely a high cost of entry. But to that point, I did have a question about this Public Service Commission, and I heard there's like another there's a broadband office. Is that part of the commission or is that a separate office?
No, so what has happened this year was the new governor came in and said, broadband is such a big issue. He wanted to have his hands directly on it. So
mm,
he created a broadband office to make sure at the federal level we're getting all the grants that we want and need. There was actually a pretty decent fight in the legislature about whether he's stepping on the Public Service Commission's toes or not.
Mm,
So I can't remember if I voted for that funding of that office. The issue was, as you know, we started wrapping so many bills into a bill. I think on that particular bill, I had the Omaha streetcar oversight at the state level. Otherwise, we couldn't even have the streetcar as a possibility because the federal government requires that the state have an oversight, safety oversight. And so that
mm,
was my bill, and it got wrapped into that. But I just can't remember if I voted for it or not. Because it was such a large bill coming out of the transportation committee.
mm.
okay.
And again, that was for an office to oversee the grants that are coming in for broadband,
Right.
and make sure that we were getting everything that was out there, basically.
Yep. Yeah. It
Yep.
was just it's just so many moving parts. The governor just felt like it was such one of those issues that was such a high priority that he needed a direct line to talk. Whether that's right or wrong, I don't know. I'm not in those rooms,
Mhm.
but that was the start process.
Yeah.
As far as as far as these grants, is it just for businesses or are there any programs for like individuals, like households, maybe people, have working from home, things like that?
Yeah, so there's both. So what's
Okay.
typically happening is businesses are getting the grants and offering discounted services. So you'll see like right now in Omaha, there's some wireless companies who are offering internet for like $30 or things
Okay.
like that. So that's all part of kind of this federal grant programs. But there's so many grant programs, so much money out there right now. I really haven't looked into that space of broadband dollars. In fact, we got 126 million that could be used for broadband. And Senator McKinney and the community said that we'd rather have a multi-purpose facility in North Omaha because we're tired of driving out to 205th and Dodge to play basketball and volleyball.
Mm.
So we used some of that money that could have went to broadband for the state. We peeled off about 30 million that will go into some recreational centers.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And we kind of talked last week about the importance of that in sports, and we're
Right.
kind of talking about it today. With the whole Bud parades.
And
Okay.
well, and the reason we did it, to be blunt, is we knew that we also had 450 million or 500 million coming in broadband. So it's like if we can take 20 million, 30 million, and use it for some community service stuff or community recreational centers, knowing we got all this other federal dollars, then it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Well,
now
and
I got talked out of wearing my white suit, Marlon. My daughter decided she was going to wear a Creighton shirt, so I had to match my daughter.
okay. Okay.
You
Got to
know, I
coordinate.
always wear the white suit with the white hat now. Come on, man.
Hey, look, it's looking clean. We've seen some pictures. We've seen the pictures.
Oh, we know. We know.
Brother McKinney, let me jump in here and ask you about the stuff that you've been burning the midnight oil on, bro. What's going on? What you got plotting? What you got up your sleeve? What you got up?
Man, just trying to make sure this economic recovery process goes how it's supposed to go.
Mm.
Making sure we hold DED and the governor's office accountable, but also making sure that we're not setting our people up for failure.
Mm.
So that's the biggest thing, is just making sure it goes smooth as much as possible. There always will be issues. That's just life. But if we could, get ahead of it and put some things in place to try to mitigate a lot of issues down the line, that's what we trying to do, and what we've been trying to communicate is that, like, look, we don't get shots like this, especially the Black community. So
Hmm.
if we're gonna get this shot, let's do it right.
With that?
Man.
Appreciate that. I definitely was going to ask you about what was going on there. We know that there's a new head of DED, right? Do you guys know much about that person? Does that person seem to be somebody who's going to work with us a little bit?
I met with him over WebEx like once. He's from Columbus.
Mm.
He was in like the economic development space out there. I really don't know him. I haven't met him face to face yet or anything like that.
Okay. We'll
Bellitz, I
see.
think one of the chat chimers says his name.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll see
yeah.
what's going on there.
He goes by Casey. I met with him a couple times. We're supposed to have another meeting with him, and that's what Senator Mckinney sent a book about to me on Sunday. Was Justin, you say this, I'm saying this. It was a whole script. It was a movie script.
That's dope. Hey, pass that on to us so we can shoot that film when we get
Hey, got to get the game plan together. But yeah, definitely looking forward to see what comes from that.
Amy
Yeah.
H died in the chat real quick says
Mhm.
we need black owned contractors to be added to our business directory. I just want to remind everybody that we do have a business directory that we live one that we add to. It's pinned to the top of Friends of First Sky Omaha. It'd be great to have some contractors in there too, so we can call on them. Malik Rogers says something great. He said, "Y'all ever wonder how much better Black Omaha would be if others took the time, like the senators, to educate and keep people informed?" Appreciate you, brothers.
Man.
I would definitely feel that way for sure, man. Because I know that I'd be lost with trying to figure things out if we weren't able to get some talk directly to you guys and understand what's going on there. Kimra Snipes in the chat says, "Someone help me find money for neighborhood engagement. No county government." Ava, I don't know about what that means, but she's reminding me that that's our tenant this season 6, Boots to the Roots.
Mhm.
We're really trying to concentrate on starting with neighborhood associations first, getting your neighborhoods together first, and then growing those and to get to the point of some action. My question is there dollars out there that can enhance and help the neighborhood associations at all?
I would say the neighborhood associations should definitely. I think at the end of in a couple of weeks, at the end of the month, the turnback tax grant should start opening up as far as the applications in North and South Omaha. So if I'm neighborhood associations should definitely try to tap into that and try to
Okay.
get some resources, because I don't think over the last couple of years I've seen any neighborhood associations apply or get funding.
Mm.
Maybe they did, but I don't think they got any funding. But I would say apply once that comes out.
Mm,
That's
Okay.
probably the quickest thing I could think of.
okay. Yeah.
And the other thing is in Nebraska, in particular, we fund projects.
Mm.
Uh, so I would tell neighborhood associations, pick what you want to do, and fund those individual projects. It's just, and part of it is people like to put their names on stuff. People like to say I did it, and it's hard to just say I fund a neighborhood association, right? Like if it was a cleanup day, if it was, um,
Hmm.
out community night out, something like, that's just the way it is. And I don't agree with it. I'm just saying that's what it comes down to.
Okay.
Interesting.
It's nice to know how to play the game, though.
Yeah. That's what's up. It's 8:04 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, if you're just joining us, we're speaking with brother senators Terrell McKinney and Justin Wayne.
Hey,
If you got questions for them, then please chime up into the chat and ask them while we have them available to us right now. Really appreciate you
yeah,
brothers coming on. Want to shift gears, man. We always are talking just about information, but I know you guys is out there for the parade this weekend. And we kind of started off the show really digging in and talking about just this what this parade meant to the city, the pride that everybody's feeling right now. But if you were out there, what was the vibe? What give us a little firsthand on that. How did you feel? What was the vibe? Is there a change? Is something changing in Omaha? Is there? I feel like energy is shifting a little bit, and I
man.
think it has to do with all the stuff that we know about funds coming in, Bud winning, some solidarity that has reached all the way from from other states to here. So, what's your feeling of the vibe and stuff of what's going on in Omaha right now,
Man,
especially North?
times are changing.
The vibe of the parade was great. It was great energy. You know, everybody seemed positive. Looked like they was out there having fun.
Yeah,
It was lovely. It was great to see, all those people come out and support Bud, and I thought it was great. I enjoyed it. It was hot, but I finally found some water like mid parade. I was like, "Hey, you got some water?" 'Cause I forgot to take some water with me, so I was like, "That." But yeah, it was great. It was the kids had a good time. I had the wrestling team walk with me, and they had fun.
See,
It was
okay,
cool.
That's
okay. You
cool.
want you want you want to bring up sore subjects? All right, I got you, Sherelle.
Oh,
That's cool.
what happened? What happened?
So the night before the parade, I was supposed to be walking with Terrell. I was just chilling. Night before the parade, Terrell told me he was walking with the wrestling club, and he stood me up. Had nobody to walk with, so you
Oh
know
man.
I brought my dad, and then I happened to see Terry Sanders the literally the night before, and so I asked her. So my dad and then Terry, and then my daughter walked with us, so it was fine. But all right, I see how it is, Terrell. You want to bring up? It's cool.
Cold blood.
study him up. Dang,
Man.
dang, dang.
He out there with 100 people, and I'm solo. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey,
Oh man,
no,
that's cool.
but real talk though, I felt like this was the first time since the march from Dodge to Memorial Park with during James Skurlock
Mm,
during
Freedom
Juju.
Summer.
I felt like this was the first time in 3 years that Omaha decided it was going to come together.
Man.
Uh,
mm.
and folks from all over. I mean, I saw folks from out west, Ashland, Nebraska, just Bellevue that I saw in the crowd, and they just came together to celebrate for a minute, and that was real cool. And so the mayor stepped up too. So I thought it went off well, and brought Omaha together, and now we got to make sure we capitalize on that and keep things going.
Man, just real quick, just to ask you, brothers. I kind of mentioned it earlier, feeling like this could be something to help. What's going on with LB 1024 economic recovery and kind of spotlight, as brother Preston Love Jr. said in an article, the assets of North Omaha. Is that kind of a feel that you're getting as well?
Yeah, I think the issue that I had to catch myself. I think the issue is those outside the community who are dictating what should happen to the community.
Okay.
Um, and Bud showed that if I just stay true to myself and who I am, the outside help, I can still be on top of the world. And I think more of us got to take that mindset of not that I don't need your help, but you're not going to dictate how I communicate and what I do.
Man.
That at the same time, maybe we don't always know what's best for the community. We try to do our best, but we human.
Hmm.
But you don't get to tell us what to do. You don't get to say we invest in 10 million into whatever park, and now this is the design of it, and y'all don't get to say.
Right.
That's not okay. And I think we all got to stand up and do a better job of saying money don't run this, and our
Man,
community does.
That's
man.
what's up.
Power to the people.
I
Power
love
to the
that.
people.
Power to the
You always talk
well,
about that paternalism, Paul.
that paternalism, man, it shocks me every time, bro. It's amazing how much they think they should tell grown folks how to live their life and spend their money and take care of their kids. It's just a trip. Like it's a trip to that people think that's okay to me.
Man.
You know. Uh, during this whole thing, Stothard talked about this land that they dropping for a buck across from back of B&B, uh, assuming that it's going to be a big sports facility, knowing what kind of work that they do, and all the good work they've been doing. And you brothers been on here talking about sports facilities and how we need to up that for the youth. Any opportunities here you can see teaming up with them on whatever they're gonna build back there? Is that part of any plan already? Is that something that's been in the works, or is this a brand new thing or her just turning over this land?
We talked to them about the project and what they plan to do. The wrestling team wrestles out of their gym on the other side, so I've kind of had an idea what they wanted to do, and we've talked about. We sat down and talked to them and looked at the plan. It would look if once they pull it off, it'll be amazing. It'd be a great destination. So I'm willing to try to help them as much as possible. Try to get it off the ground and get it up and running because
Okay.
I think it's definitely needed.
We kind of speculated as far as what it might be, but now hearing that you talk to them, do you know any other programs, anything new? Is it just an expansion of what they're already doing, or
It'll be an expansion of boxing. They'll loop in MMA and also wrestling, and then also have pieces for mentoring and programming for after school for kids to not only just go in there and work out, but also get homework done
Hmm.
and get access to other community programming.
man? Okay, nice,
Yeah.
man. Okay,
And let me just say, there's some key folks that people need to understand that don't always come out in the forefront who are big contributors of pulling this off. And so uh, some of us kind of knew that was a possibility. And I'll tell you that uh, Senator McKinney's being humble. He was directly involved. Tommy Warren, Chief Warren, obviously chief
okay,
of staff for the mayor, Keith Station, Jacqueline Morrison. These are three black people in the mayor's office who are trying to do something good for the city. And so, the them four, let's just say it wasn't a surprise for some of us when that got turned over. And them four have been working hard in the mayor's office. So I just think we always got to make sure we give some shots out where it's at.
That's what I
okay.
thought, man. That's why I asked, because I was like, this can't this something had to be working in the background for this to come up like this. It's not just a surprise. I had a really good conversation with Brother Station for the first time. Finally got to sit and talk to him. I was part of the library steering committee and met him on one of those library meetings, and we finally got a chance to talk. And yeah, I'm impressed. That brother is really trying to do something for North Omaha, especially, and representing, man. So I love that I'm getting to meet some of these folks that you're talking about that are in here trying to do some of this work, and really see how it's working behind the scenes.
I
Right.
mean,
Before,
I
mhm.
would tell you sometimes we got to set aside our egos and listen to how to work the system. So Keith Station, he's my fraternity brother. I've known him forever. But when we started working on 1024, the original plan, the mayor and I hadn't talked for 2 years. We were on
Mm,
opposite ends on some other issues
Mm.
around some extremely blighting of downtown and some other stuff.
mm,
Fifth
Keith
Alley.
actually came to a meeting and pulled me aside in front of everybody and was like, "We need to talk." And Keith was like, "Man, just this is too big. Call the mayor." And I'm like, "Man, egos, right? Like, I passed this bill for extremely blighted. They don't took it downtown." And he's like,
mhm,
"Okay, that's in the past, but we're gonna let hundreds of millions miss North Omaha." And I'm like,
mm.
mm, "All right, since you want to slap me around right now." And so I literally called the mayor, and the next day, Chief Schmatter was down there talking at the hearing, and Chief Schmatter was really one of the biggest selling points for us when he said he'd rather have 1,000 jobs in North Omaha than 1,000 more police officers.
Mm.
And so that wouldn't have happened without Keith. And too many times people have egos, and I was there. It was like, nope, I ain't budging, I ain't calling. But without that phone call and me and the mayor squashing our stuff and figuring out how to move forward, Schmatter wouldn't have been down there. And that literally, unless I'm wrong, Senator King, that's really what sold World Nebraska was this was a violent prevention. This was a way to stop what was going on in our communities by creating jobs. And no matter how much Senator McKinney and I said it, Chief Schmatter, is the one who sold it.
Mm.
That's an incredible
Man,
story right there, man.
man,
Wow.
man.
I'd love to have Brother Station on, man. Talk a little bit more about all of this too. I love the fact that we're getting to know the players and hearing the stories about like how it goes down behind the scenes, man. And shout out to you for doing that thing, man. We all got these egos we got to be pushing down sometime and all that good stuff. So it's good to hear that, man. I'm really impressed.
Yeah.
Before the chat gets away from us too much, man, Brother Sherman Wells is in the chat. Good morning to you, bro.
Hey.
He said, Senator Terrell, I got them shirts in my trunk. Number one, he says, also, are you bringing back LB 284 or is it dead?
Yeah. What is that?
It's a police accountability bill.
Mm.
It has a portion in it that deals with no-knock warrants, for police oversight and things like that. It's still in judiciary. Got to try to find a way to get it out of there. I don't have to reintroduce it because it's laid over, but it's still in committee right now. If I can find a way, I
Well,
definitely will.
if I'd have walked in the parade with you, we could have got it out of committee.
It's doing some shirt on.
Stood my guy up, man. Stood him up. I did have a question about that though. The whole process. Again, we are out of session. It's in between session, and we had, you fellas did a wonderful job of kind of breaking down how things work while we're in session. But in this kind of period, the off season, if you will, like what work can be done, and also. As Paul mentioned, we're all about boots to the roots this season. Like, how is a bill drafted? Can bills be thought up and kind of created during this time?
So right now, like we're in the interim. We still have interim study hearings. I got like 4 coming up next month. One on looking at affordable housing and trying to figure out how do we define that and make it make sense for common people. Um, I think judiciary has some interim hearings coming up as well. But as far as a bill, like, yeah, if you got an idea for a bill, just hit us up and we could just, reach out to bill drafting and get it drafted. And we could look at the language and say, okay, like this is the idea, but how do we fix this? Because it's never, bills aren't perfect when they come back from bill drafting. You still got to work on them to make them to what you intended. But yeah, right now, if you got an idea, you could reach out to any senator and say, hey, I got this idea on how to address this issue. Could you would you consider introducing a bill? And we could be like, maybe, let's see, get it drafted, and maybe we'll introduce it and maybe not after we get it back. So
okay. So
And the key is, even if you don't, even if like Paul comes to me and is like, Justin, I got a bill, blah, 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 I might not be the right person to carry it. So you can't wait till January, because let's say it goes to Business and Labor Committee. Well, we might want to find somebody on that committee to carry it. So you might reach out to a Megan Hunt or somebody else and say, hey, this is a good bill. We want you to carry it. So all that takes time. And so waiting until November, December to come up with a bill idea it makes it real hard.
So now will actually be a good time.
Right.
Okay.
And you guys actually taught us earlier too. Even when it gets in, it can take a year or two, even to get to where it needs to get to pass, or it take the whole process takes time. So we got to kind of just start the process and be patient about it. Appreciate that. Before we get too far off of Brother Wells, he's talking about that he said also if you got Hulu, you can watch the one ABC News did called Sound of the Police. We've been talking about Sound of the Police this whole time. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see that yet. But of course, we're talking about Amir Locke is a huge part of this documentary here, and that whole no-knock warrant situation and everything that's going on out there in Minneapolis, how that affects us. So it's interesting to hear you, Brother McKinney, talk about this bill that has some of that language in there too. That was a fight for better treatment by the police when it comes to these things as well. Here too.
LB 284. So
LB 284.
Write that down, y'all. LB 284. We'll definitely be keeping our eyes on that bill next session as things heat up. I also had a question while we're on this topic. I had a question for you gentlemen specifically as far as criminal reform, criminal justice reform, specifically in prison. Of course, we know a couple years ago it was voted by the state narrowly, but still voted and passed by the state. Or citizens of the state, really, to take the 13th Amendment language out of the state's constitution as far as being a slave, slavery abolished except for when convicted of a crime. I'm just kind of curious as far as like, what does that mean? Have you seen any changes? Is there any did that just happen and then nothing? Are there any
I'm
bills?
gonna
Anything?
tell you, there was a story a couple years ago when it went in effect, um, about, I think it was in Lancaster County. The director, somebody was like, now the individuals in here are getting paid more. They aren't slaves. So it's a real story. But as
Wow.
far as criminal justice reform is, I think that's an ongoing fight to keep, peeling what we can get. I think once the bill goes in effect in September, there's going to be a task force assembled to look at sentencing and what we could do as a state to address it in a better way. So that's one good thing coming out of it.
Okay.
So the other thing is I'm the one who introduced that bill on or the constitutional amendment to ban slavery, and for me it was a test case really.
Mm.
Colorado had just failed to pass it. Then they were passed at the same time or the year before we did. And for me, it was to start a conversation about archaic and racist language in our Constitution, and that passed 48-0. I think one senator wasn't there, and so now, to me, step two is about removing some of our felony requirements in our Constitution, where felons can't vote, even though we have a statute that says they can. I'd rather have the whole thing removed from our Constitution and those kind of things. So to me, it was just a longer play of can I get people on board with this? And who really gonna say let's keep slavery in the Constitution? Like I was actually shocked that 48 senators said yeah, but I wasn't shocked when over a third of Nebraska said we should keep it in. So uh, so just those kind of things.
Wow.
And I just saw Amy in the chat. Amy, I passed a bill that requires HHS to provide foster parents or anybody dealing with the kid all their um, health, medical records, and medical information, both mental health and physical health. Otherwise, they are no longer exempt from being sued if something happens.
Mm.
So if they're not providing that information, I can get you the statute where they have to.
So
Man.
actually, I wanted to jump back in the chat. It was actually Miss Erica Felt that was saying, "Oh, then let me reach out about a bill allowing for more child care inspectors. Quality standards say they should have a caseload of 50, but have far over 250." She also said, where was the rest of her thing? I think I lost it now. Um, Yeah, I lost it in the chat. But yeah, there's some ideas out there for things to go for it. I appreciate you letting Amy know about that one. Also, yeah, I would definitely say put more stuff out there about the childcare situation. We talk about it all the time here, and I don't have the imagination enough to know what kind of bills to make or what to ask for when it comes to that. But we have people in the chat like Miss Erica Felt that's running childcare facilities. Definitely feels like she's always talking about changes that need to be made. So this might be one way to make that happen. So maybe we can talk about that, Miss Erica Felt, at some point, and then bring it to the senators at another time as well. But yeah, that would be great to be able to talk about some of the changes that could be made for that. I think a lot of people who are having, especially young child care facilities, are suffering right now
Hmm.
with what's going on with some of these bigger facilities coming in and getting working for free. Having, what I'm saying, all the stuff that's been going on has been making it hard for them. So we'll see. Anyway, that was kind of what was up there. I think there was something else with me and you, buddy, were talking about that we wanted to ask the senators before we let him go here. There was what were we talking about? It's been a morning for us, bro. This weekend,
Yeah, yeah.
you gotta. We apologize for the low energy and all that. This weekend has been crazy. I barely made it in today for this Monday morning session, but definitely wanted to talk to you guys about it. We updated a little bit more about LB 1024 530. Uh,
One, I think.
we already talked. You guys talked a little bit about the updates on that situation with the DED and everything else. Uh,
We haven't met with them yet.
haven't met with him yet. Okay.
Okay.
And I think last time we were talking about maybe trying to have somebody on from the DED to talk a little bit about it, but we don't want to, we ain't trying to step on no toe. You got whatever you guys got going for communication. We don't want to jump in front of that.
I
Actually,
mean, still invite them. Still invite them, but hopefully today or tomorrow we'll get an update on when we'll all sit down and talk about what's going on before they release anything. So if y'all want to invite them, invite them. I think it's
Okay.
good. So
Actually, one of the chat chimers had asked about somebody specific from DED. I asked if y'all have worked with a Trevin from DED.
Trayvon, yeah, yeah,
Trayvon. Okay.
yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what's up. Right on. All right. Anything else coming up that we need to be keeping our eye on and putting the boots to the roots about? Anything we can help support and do?
Uh, I had a meeting last week with OHA. So it's
Mm.
pay attention to OHA.
Yeah.
And just talked about a lot of the issues I've been hearing from the community, and put them on the spot about a lot of things. I'm hopeful we could keep a line of communication and get some things done in a better way with that organization. I would say if you don't know, they're probably going to, well, they are going to sell Chambers Court. So
Hmm.
if you're
What?
so if you're interested, you probably should reach out to them.
Okay.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
that's news. Shout out to Amy H. Dot, our she's one of the documenters for the documenters program, and she's actually been documenting and going to some of the OHA meetings and sent us some of her notes and some presentations that they put out. But I am kind of curious as far as to some of the things that you had questions about. I know we specifically I was looking at Canopy South and what they're doing with the South Terrace projects. But what are some things that are on your radar beyond the Chambers Courts?
I think I told them, I mean, one is a historical building or site, so that's one. Two, I think, if they are going to sell it, how can the community benefit from that?
Mm.
How
Yeah.
can we ensure that we keep it? They said that the one thing they will try to do is if they do sell it, well, when they do sell it, they'll one of the stipulations that they keep it affordable housing, whatever that means. So
Hmm.
we'll see. Whoever buys it has to commit to that, I guess. But
Will OHA be a part of this affordable housing study that you have coming up?
I hope they show up. We talked about it, so maybe they'll show up too. They're probably one of the biggest renters in the city. I think they are.
Wow.
There you go.
Well, okay, yeah, we'll definitely keep that up. Miss Amy H. If anyone wants to come to the next OHA meeting, let me know. No one from the public, everyone, every show, ever shows up, and have the option to join via Zoom if you request.
Okay.
So shout out to Amy H. Who's doing that work as well. Appreciate that. Brother Wayne, anything that we need to be keeping an eye on that you thinking about?
I don't know. I'm starting to dig back into education a little bit. I'm on the education committee. I'm trying to figure it out. It's almost it's too big to fail, but it's too big to quite understand. And I was the president of the board for a while.
Mm.
But there's just certain things that I ask a lot of questions and certain things that I'm just not understanding.
Hmm.
Um, so there's three North Omaha schools that don't have special education teachers.
Yep.
So they're moving kids to other schools. I like to get into that a little bit more, understand kind of why is it that Lincoln can fulfill all their schools and we can't. Um,
Yeah.
More importantly, how many people in the teacher administration building in their special education department have certificates that can't go out and work in those schools until we hire people, if that's the issue. Like, why
Mm.
are we displacing kids? Why don't we just displace the adults?
Hmm.
And so I'm trying to figure that out. And people have been talking about 753, and that's part of the funding. And I had to remind folks on social media the other day in the last 10 years, OPS has lowered their levy, I think 7 times. And
Mm.
so when they lower their levy and they talk about being fiscally responsible, they're saying they don't need more money. Anytime you hear being fiscally responsible in a cut, what the government is saying is we don't need more money. And so if they're saying we don't need more money, and we can't hire teachers, there's a disconnect here for me.
Don't add up.
Man, the math is definitely not
So
mathing.
right, and so we gave them an extra $30 million this year for the next forever. It's part of their funding formula. And I think I don't know if maybe we just need to sit down one day. We talked about it before, just having a detailed conversation on education funding. Period. Right. So many of these organizations who come out and say they're against tax credits and all this other stuff, they literally support organizations that move kids out of public schools. Like they give foundations here, give tons of money to private schools, and every time a kid leaves, according to them, when it comes to 753, every time a kid leaves a public school and goes to a private school, it takes money away from public schools. So then why are you supporting organizations to do it privately, but now publicly you want to come out and say that? So I'm just trying to figure all this out. It's just a whole bunch going on. And when that article hit and we're moving parents and moving kids around, and how does that affect busing, and how does that, I mean, it's a lot going on, and I don't know how to get into it all, but I got to figure it out.
Yeah,
That's where I've been, my
that's
last couple weeks been.
that's definitely been one of the mysteries, man. I've been feeling the same way myself. Like the math, like Buddy said, the math ain't mathing. How you said it one time on the show, you was like, how do you get people money who ain't asking for it? They're not asking for the money, so it's hard to get people some money that when they ain't even trying to get it themselves for something. And we all from the outside are looking and saying, well, you obviously need to pay more teachers and hire more teachers and pay them more to stay around and do whatever you need to do. So why wouldn't you be asking for that extra money to be able to do that if that's the case? So yes, it's an interesting dichotomy. I can understand why it is a mystery that you feel like you want to go solve for real.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, and people got to understand OPS, let's say in Omaha in general, but OPS is one of our largest human capital producers in Nebraska, right? Like they got 55,000 students there. So that something's going to happen to those 55,000 students. They either going to come out with the skills needed to be successful, or they going to end up in prison or dead. Like there isn't a whole lot of gap there. And so
right.
just trying to figure that out is just it's mind blowing, and it's complicated. But I think we intentionally make it complicated.
Mm.
You know,
Interesting.
I think our funding formula at the state level and even local, we intentionally make it complicated. But when I see we don't have money for special education teachers, and I see us lowering our levy, there's a disconnect to me.
Yeah, I
Makes
mean,
sense.
not just
Wasn't that
teachers,
and the 30
transportation.
million and the 30 million was for special education
That's
specifically,
true.
wasn't it?
That's true.
Wow.
That's right.
Really? I mean, I've called for an audit. I think Amy H. Dot has said that there was an audit that is public information. There's questions about retirement fund management. Again, as I mentioned, transportation is still an issue in OPS. So it's not just the teachers. There's a lot of questions going on. Well, where is the money going
Yeah.
if you're
And
so fiscally responsible?
people be having a lot to say, but honestly, I don't know too many senators that advocate as much as we do for OPS and try to make sure to get more funding, working behind the scenes to help kids out. It like all the kids in the mostly every kid in the wrestling team goes to OPS school.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Picking them up to go to practice, all this type of stuff on the side, advocating for them when they have issues within the district as far as like behavior and all those type of things. It's bigger than social media advocacy that people they could, for me it's like you can say what you want, but my love for the kids in my community is bigger than the hate that they give for one bill that we
Ooh,
supported to help those kids
man.
and make sure that we try to set them up for success. So if me looking out for the kids that look like me in my community makes you hate me so much, then hate me. I don't care.
Mm.
Man,
There you go.
you told it.
There you go.
Uh,
There's a couple more questions here in the chat. I know that it's about time for us to get going, though, man. I don't want to hold you guys too long here. Appreciate it. We'll put those questions out, and maybe we can talk about them another time. But yeah, any last words? Any words of advice, wisdom that you guys
Look,
want to
man,
leave with us?
we had a beautiful weekend. People a little tired, people a little cranky a little bit because it's Monday. But at the end of the day, it's a new day. It's a new beginning. Every day is a new beginning. And this week, man, we got let's all promise this week. All the chat timers, everybody. This week, let's leave this week. Let's make sure we leave this world better this week than last week. That's all I care about.
Mm.
I like
Mm.
it.
Powerful.
I love that. Brother Chapman in the chat earlier said something about the solidarity. He's seeing a little bit of solidarity out here, and I'm seeing it too. I'm feeling like there's a shift in Omaha, really, with that. Brother McKinney, are you seeing any solidarity more than maybe last year? Maybe you seen anything, any shift happen?
Yeah, I've been seeing people who prior to a couple years ago would never sit in the same room with each other working together. I was at, I think it was Friday or Saturday. I was in a room with two Willies that for a while never spoke to each other, telling each other how great they've been doing. You know what I mean? So it's there, it's people are coming together because I think people are realizing that the only way North Omaha is going to prosper is if we begin to work with each other and put our differences to the side. And yeah, we might feel some way about something, but at the end of the day, if you out here saying you for the community, how can you not work with somebody that's also doing the same thing? So I I think it's great. I think North Omaha is moving in the right direction at all levels. We always can improve and be better. So that's an ongoing thing. But overall, I think
And here's the biggest thing in our community. If I could send one message about politics in our community is, if you undercut the elected representative, it ain't going to benefit you or your community. Because whoever you undercutting that elected representative to, they're looking to figure out how to take that fund, take that resource, take that opportunity away from your community.
Man, big time. They got their own pet projects they want to put that money on.
Man, all of that. Sherman Wells in the chat saying the great awakening in Omaha is in real effect. We are stronger together. As we said, y'all, teamwork definitely makes a dream work. So that's what we're talking about, man. Definitely appreciate that.
And Brother Wayne, I know that you're not feeling too much togetherness since Brother McKinney stood you up the other day, but the next time that we have a parade, you can ride with me and Lil Lucky, and we'll roll.
Man,
don't you worry about saying, bro.
Man, you ain't even got. Let's just do it, and we gonna ride right in front of Terrell because he rode right in front of me. He rode right. Hold on, it's even worse. He rode right in front of me in the back of a car, and I had to walk in the hot, and he just waving, and I'm hot.
Cold blooded. Yeah, we gonna put the top down. We gonna roll, bro. We gonna hit that parade hard. That's what we gonna do. I appreciate it. Hey, I appreciate you fellas, man. Really do. Let's get together soon. Chop it up a little bit on some other stuff. These ideas that like I think Brother Wells was saying it, man. When we get done with that documentary, pops, let them know, because we really are working on trying to capture a lot of what's going on here, because it's legendary, bro. It's legendary what's happening with you brothers. And what's happening with North Omaha right now. And we working to get this documented, because people need to understand. People in other states are already asking about what's happening out there. I talk to people all the time that are like, "Man, I heard you guys got some advocates out there. What's going on? What's happening?" So
Paul, I don't want to rain on your parade because we having such a great time, but if you put that documentary, girl, it's gonna be like JFK, CIA stuff. They're gonna say after the last dead person, you can release it 25 years after that person dies. Because there's too many secrets we can't tell.
Well, I'll put it to you like this: we kings of media over here, bro. We'll let this ain't the '60s. We'll let that leak. It'll be all over the place. Man, we gonna get out of here, man. Let you guys get going. But I appreciate you very much for coming through today, spending your time this morning. That's what's up. Like I said, I'm gonna get in the chat here a little bit, and if you guys can check out the chat too, if there's some questions there that people are asking of you, I wish you if you could just kind of look at it and see what you can answer with them over the chat. So appreciate you coming in. Like I said, apologize for this low energy Monday right here, but
we tired, boss.
We tired, boss. But we're here. We're gonna try to do what we can do. In the meantime, between time, you guys take it easy. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, brother.
Peace. Brother Senator Terrell McKinney, Justin Wayne, put some respect on their name.
Yeah, man.
Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the DES.
Paul Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd, chat chimers, ghost listeners, radio listeners, and senators.
That one's for you, Lucia.
We'll be right back. That's right. Make Lucia smile. That's right. On the DES. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Call Buddi3 Da Gawd. Hat Chimers, Ghost listeners, everybody who's joined us today. Really appreciate everybody's comments today. I'm sorry that I didn't get to them all the way. But man, if you miss any parts of this show, go back and check it out on Facebook or YouTube. Definitely check out the chat when you do. Lots of good information in the chat, good comments, all that good stuff. Really appreciate that. Like Stacey Jean says, thank you, Senators Terrell, McKinney, and Justin Wayne. I appreciate your community work, for real.
Yeah. Putting in the work. Putting in the work. For real.
It is 8:40 right now, if you believe in the concept of time. Yeah, man, show be getting away from us for real. Marianne Williams in the chat, who is a avid chat chimer and a person who puts a lot in Friends of First Sky Omaha. We really appreciate that you do that.
Thank you.
She said, I posted an article today showing Crete Public Schools has money to drug test middle and high school students, though. They play sports or park in parking lots. Play sports or park in parking lots. Yeah, that's interesting. This is on the subject of being able to hire special ed teachers, especially when the senators were able to get $30 million in for special education. They can't hire no teachers off of that salary, I guess. I don't know, off of that money. But yeah, it is dirty, like Brooke says. It's kind of messed up. What they got going on. Definitely need some audit happening. I think that's definitely we're when Brianna Fool gets back in town, she's talking about coming on the show and giving us a rundown of like some of the things that she's seeing in the board meetings, and she's a part of the OPS board, so maybe that'll give us some insights. But I have a feeling we need to talk to more administration and see why they're making the decisions they are. Who hires teachers? Who's in charge of headhunting teachers and bringing them in? What's going on? Why would they? I heard a lot of teachers will come in with their credentials and they'll leave to go to different schools because they don't like the area they're in and stuff like that. How come they can't retain teachers? I like what Brother Wayne said about it. How come we don't displace the adults?
Right.
Instead of the kids. Why don't you, if you got a job and your job says, hey, you got to transfer to the other side of town. That's better than trying to send 30, 40, 50 students to another school and all the infrastructure for that. So
not just the students, but the parents, like the parents who have to work, and you know what I mean? Like now you're inconveniencing them. Now you're leaning more on the transportation system, which we already know is still in shambles. Just why? Also, Sister Kimra, who was formerly a part of the board, giving us more information. She says the accountability committee attempted to prevent Jane Erdenberger from accepting questions or holding town halls focused on the superintendent search. She says, I went to a last board meeting. So again, kind of giving us a little insight into what's going on. Speaking of the administration and headhunting and finding, folk to do the jobs. She also says if you watch the recording of the last meeting, you can see it all. OPS found an additional $5 million in the budget as well, going towards retirement. Amy H. says found. Okay.
So when I find $5 in the laundry, I'm celebrating.
Man.
She says OPS does an audit every year. Mr. Wakefield does the hiring. They also went over their recruitment strategies at the last board meeting. So okay, this is all public. Brooke Pop said he wasn't feeling well. He got up early this morning, sent me a message before the show, said he wasn't feeling well, but to send the First Sky Omaha family his love. That's where Pops is at. Marianne Williams says finding it in winter coats when you bring them in is awesome too. Just found $20 around here finding money.
There you go. Put it towards retirement. There you
go. Questions. I like the fact that brother Wayne is on that to really he's letting that mystery make him curious and going for trying to find some answers on this stuff. So we'll see.
Okay.
We will see.
Yeah. In the meantime, between times, about 15 minutes left in this thing. Want to jump into a lightning round?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Got a few stories to let y'all know about. If you have some comment, go ahead and jump into the chat. Let your mind be free. Let your voice be heard. The chat has been going off already throughout the show. So big shout out to all the chat chimers and all the ghost listeners. Have a conversation among your folk around you as well. Now, even if you aren't in the chat, still, move the conversation, spread the information. So Thank you for tuning in. This first story kind of hit close to home, if you will, as far as what we do as media in our attempts to, do the work, tell the stories, look at things that aren't being looked at. But it can land you in trouble. As Paul said, being a journalist is some of the most gangster things you can do nowadays. And it might even land you to getting raided. Again, this is the instance coming out of Kansas. A top law enforcement officer in Kansas appeared to justify a Marion County search warrant that led to an unprecedented raid on a local newspaper, and actually, according to the Nebraska Examiner, potentially contributed to the death of the paper's co-owner. According to Kansas Bureau of Investigation Director Tony Mativi, he released a statement Sunday following widespread outrage of the raid, which took place on Friday, in which local law enforcement seized computers, cell phones, and other reporting materials from the Marion County Record and publisher Eric Mayer's home. The raid was part of an investigation into alleged identity theft in a restaurant owner, or excuse me, identity theft of a restaurant owner who had clashed with the paper. According to KBI statement provided to ABC News, they very strongly believed in free speech and freedom of the press, but he felt the KBI needed to be able to investigate credible allegations, quote unquote. However, you wait and the plot thickens because according to an article that was posted by Chat Chimers, big shout out to the Chat Chimers, that paper was reportedly investigating one of the police officers for actually the chief of police for sexual misconduct at a former job, which we actually talked about recently in Nebraska. There was a gentleman from Georgia actually that got into some hot water, ended up losing his job and relocated to Nebraska. So we know that police officers do things, do get in trouble, and tend to relocate to kind of wipe the slate clean. So again, this is very, very interesting. The fact that again all of this is happening. This newspaper got raided, and again they were potentially investigating and doing a report on some previous behaviors of the chief of police.
Yeah. What I understand about the fourth estate is that it is the part of is a branch of government that is supposed to be keeping track of the powers that be, holding them accountable to what it is they're supposed to be doing with the law and everything else. So I think in this era of Trump, like you talk about the Trump effect a lot. One of the tenets of the Trump effect is fake news. He's always acting like it's a war with the journalists. Because if they uncover anything or tell any kind of truth, then you're that is unflattering to you, then you want to fight them, and we're seeing this kind of stuff more and more. So the fact that these powers that be wanted to raid this newspaper for doing investigative journalism on them and their conduct, public officials, the people that are out here to protect us and everything else, and they have to they're supposed to be under the scrutiny of being checked. They can't just run amok and do what they want to do. So sometimes it's only the news outlets, it's only the journalists that are keeping track of these things and bringing it to light. And so you got to protect that. It's the First Amendment right. You have to be able to protect that. And so when we always our ears perk up when we hear about attacks on news organizations or journalists because of that very thing.
Yeah. Again, it's one of the only professions, laid out and protected by the Constitution, the First Amendment, freedom of press, freedom of speech. So yeah, definitely always looking at what happens with that situation, and then we'll kind of keep an eye out to see how that Kansas situation plays out with the Marion County record. So,
Word.
Yeah, definitely. Look at that. Also, moving along in other news, we're still looking at what's going on with Nebraska and its new gun laws. Something that we should all be looking out for. Nebraska's new law allowing concealed carry without a permit goes into effect September 3rd. So that's within weeks. But what would that mean for the city of Omaha? Again, its impact on metropolitan areas forces Omaha to repeal about 24 sections of its city code, all again alluding to gun ownership, gun use, gun registration, all of the like. A city council member is asking city attorneys to look into legislation for the public safety. City Council President Pete Festerson says, we're looking for alternatives to better address the situation and reduce crime in the city and increase public safety. That's our goal. Festerson requested the city's law department to research topics such as regulating ghost guns, banning bump stocks, and protecting public places like schools, event centers, and public buildings from guns. Fredrickson also said, we've had multitudes of really scary and troubling incidents in cities throughout our country this year. I don't want that to happen in Omaha. So again, we'll definitely be looking out as far as what the new gun law means, especially in Nebraska, again, or in Omaha, the most populated city in the state. And you know, we kind of, Paul and I did go to a government kind of breakdown over the summer during the break, you know, while I was in town. And one thing that jumped out for me from that, Paul, was the fact that Omaha, I forget the term that they use, but Omaha has a lot of longitude and a lot of freedom when it comes to ordinances, laws, and how they, again, push laws. To my understanding, Omaha doesn't really have to follow the state lock and step. There are some things that Omaha can do as far as ordinances. Kind of saw that play out with the pandemic and how Omaha handled the pandemic versus the state at large. So what this means for gun legislation is very interesting, and we'll definitely be looking out for that. Kimmer, if you know the term I'm talking about as far as Omaha's, you know, legal flexibility, or if anybody knows, please let me know.
Well, she did say in the chat, Northo has had 0 ordinances passed since 2021.
Hmm.
Ain't just the school board. So,
Hmm.
yeah, so they're, you know, not even using what they can use on that. But this is there's been stuff that's been in place, especially for these gun laws, that now have to be rethought and changed. Shout out to the chat chimers that put that in Friends for Sky Omaha, and a lot of the chat chimers were saying we had no idea that we had these many ordinances, and you know all the stuff going on here with the gun stuff that now needs to be changed because of the new laws.
Nearly 2 dozen.
Yeah, so I mean that's quite a few. That's quite a lot of work for having to reshape the law in the way that they did. So shout out to
And
the chat chimers put that in. Mhm.
yeah, and mind you, Chief Todd Schmatter, you know, chief of Omaha Police, was very vocal in this bill. I believe the senators had mentioned that, you know, he was kind of, you know, quoted saying that this will definitely make it harder or kind of reduce gun charges, as far as, you know, one of the big reasons why arrests are made as far as gun charges, and this can have an impact on that. So yeah, definitely interested to see, you know, how Omaha looks at these laws, and what will happen.
For sure. Speaking on the subject we were talking about before, Stacey Jean in the chat talking about OPS says, yes, it's better to reassign teachers to different schools for certain programs than children. Transportation for OPS is already a mess, and it does make things extremely hard on the parents who drop, I'm losing it, who drop their,
Children off.
yeah, I'm losing where are we at
Yeah,
here?
the chat is
Oh,
coming
there we go.
in.
Yeah, chat coming in strong. Dropped their children off on the way to work. When Augie Kid was in high school, I had to take him to OPS administrative building for a class because there was no transportation for him. Thankful he provided with transportation to get to school afterwards. So yeah, this is interesting that I was thinking that too. They're already having problems hiring bus drivers. You know, getting enough transportation for the kids now to transport a lot of kids instead of reassigning the teachers is just interesting to me. But I think it's almost like teachers have the choice of where they want to go work, and they're choosing schools that are less challenging sometimes. So
Mm.
I don't know. T. Ren in the chat, good morning, says, of course they will, and primarily against black residents. The whole point of reversing the permit process was to unburden greater Nebraska white residents. Speaking about the gun laws. And yeah, there's a lot to it. As you can see, there's dozens of ordinances that now need to be changed, and it'll be interesting to see how they get changed. It might lean a certain way for sure.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
definitely keep our eyes on that. But just about 7 minutes left in the show. I do have one last story. It wasn't quite on our headlines, but I came across this as we were scouring, you know, looking for stories this morning.
Mhm.
And this is something that the chat chimers have definitely been looking at. Of course, we're talking about abortion and gender care, LB 574. If you remember, that bill did pass, but it did make its way through the Supreme Court. Again, it was challenged on the single, I forget the single rule clause. I forget the actual term, but again, this is the same rule that we saw the marijuana bill be killed by, again, by the Supreme Court again, arguing that you can't, the single subject rule, that's what it's called. And again, arguing that you can't compile multiple things into one bill that definitely, don't have anything to do with each other. And that was the argument with LB 574. Again, abortion and gender care, as far as, those two things being wrapped up in it. But again, that has passed. The Supreme Court has a lawsuit trying to stop the Nebraska law mixing stricter abortion ban at 12 weeks of gestation with restrictions on gender affirming care, was dismissed on Friday by a Lancaster County judge, Judge Lori Moret, sided with Attorney General Mike Hilgers and the state, which argued that Legislative Bill 574 did not violate the Nebraska Constitution's requirement that bills cover only a single subject, because both proposals covered health care. But I thought that was very interesting when looking at the marijuana bill and how they use that rule to, again, eliminate that. It was just very interesting. Just want to throw that in
Yeah.
there. Yeah. But again, the LB 574 survives.
All right. There it is. Monday news. Appreciate you guys had opinions on this and put comments in the chat. Again, if you miss any parts of this show, definitely go back and check it out on Facebook and YouTube. Check out the chats when you do. Very informative chats. Very informative and great comments and even deep dives on stuff. So really appreciate everybody that's doing that. We have the best chat ever in order to really understanding the means to do this is through conversation, and we're having that over the chat. So appreciate it very much. Thank you for everybody who's joined us. I think we're jumping to a few haps. I'm kind of monitoring the chat as we go by here, but a lot of people talking to each other, which is dope.
I do have one hap to kick it off while you pull yours up.
Mm-hmm.
Brother Sherman Wells in the chat, because again, we were talking about Sounds of the Police last week, and I was thinking that I knew the family had a documentary, and I was thinking this was it that they've been talking about. But apparently there's another documentary, again, the story of Amir Locke, who has an Omaha connection. A lot of family members live in Omaha, is heavily featured in the Sounds of the Police. But apparently there's another documentary called No Knock, No Charge, the Amir Locke story, which is a documentary made by the family, which features 30 unedited police body cameras from 2222. That's from Brother Sherman Wells. So again, yeah, man, that's another documentary that we'll definitely have to look out for. Let us know when that's going to drop, and we'll keep our eyes on that. But again, I didn't know it was two documentaries.
I didn't know either. Yeah, one of this ABC one you can see on Hulu. Definitely going to look at that. It was probably more in depth, and I'd love to hear what the family had to say there too. So I'll definitely be looking at that one. Appreciate that, Brother Wells. I'm gonna need to get in that trunk, bro. I need some shirts. I need a couple of sweatpants. Buddy came over all decked out in hood gear, and I was like, man, I done missed out. Got to get with you, man. Again, shout out to everybody that went out to the parade, man. I just love the fact that the Omaha got together like this, and had a peaceful event honoring Bud, the champ, and I love that everybody that showed out for this. It's really really great.
Crawford, Boomerang. Crawford, Boomerang.
Yes. We'll jump into a little bit of haps, man. We only got about 2 minutes left, but just want to make sure that everybody understands that this is going to be a major event here at Benson Theater. Our own Beaufield Berry, screenplay extraordinaire, has written a play called Six Guns Running, and this was previously called Buffalo Women. If you guys have heard of that one before, this has been going on for a while. We're finally doing it here at the Benson Theater, August 18th, 19th, and 20th. Definitely check it out at bensontheater.org. You're going to want to get down. And the Sunday one, August the 20th, is the brunch. Man, I heard there's going to be some special talks and things that's happening on opening night as well. So 18th, it might be, any of those days will be good, but 18th will be good. Opening night is usually always exciting. And then, of course, the last show of the run is always exciting too, especially when you're going to have soul food brunch going on with it as well. So definitely get your tickets, bensontheater.org. I'm definitely going to hit the brunch. You know, I like to eat, so it's going down.
Sounds like a good time.
I think it will be a real good time. Don't forget tomorrow night too at Benson Theater, happy hour. The community networking happy hours is happening 3 to 7 every Tuesday. Last week, Amber and Lacey were there. We had a really good time. Michelle Troskler DJ. So we're gonna be doing stuff like this every week, man. And it's the front room. We call it the front room at the Benson Theater. You don't have to walk all the way into the auditorium where it's super pristine. We kind of close those doors off, have a party in the front room. And it feels like B-side again when we're doing that.
Man, Mr. B-side.
Mr. B-side, man. Rest in peace, B-side. That's real. But we're recreating it now, so that's what's up.
Good vibes.
Yeah, man. I appreciate everybody that's coming through on that for sure. Remember, we already talked about George Clinton and them coming in September on the 17th. A lot of people in the chat got their tickets already for that, so that's what's up. A lot of people in the chat got their tickets for Chappelle coming the very next day, the 18th. Buddy's coming back in town for both of these shows.
Hey.
So yeah, man, that's really what's gonna be up.
Man,
I love
excited.
it. It's always a good time when Buddy's in town. That's for sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yep. So that's about it, man. I'm gonna not drag it out too much. Oh, definitely put this on your calendar though. I Be Black Girl Got Down brought Angela Davis out
Man.
for October 27th. Definitely get your tickets for that. You know that's gonna sell out. Love it when Angela Davis is in town for real, for real. So appreciate her very, very much. And yeah, man. Just remember, a chair is still a chair. I'm gonna keep it up. People acting a fool out here. We need that solidarity. That solidarity is what
man.
that's all about, man.
Yeah. Hey, we all we got, y'all. We all we got.
That woman says, "Love Monday mornings here. Have a wonderful week. Everybody drink water and make your week work for you." I like that.
There you go.
Appreciate that.
There you go.
Stacey Jean says, "Great show." Amir Sanchez says, "Have a blessed week, everyone." Early, he said, "Hit that like button if you're on YouTube. Appreciate that very much." Also, yeah, man, appreciate everybody that's jumped on today, and thanks for the shout outs to Pops too. I'll get that message to him that you guys was giving him some good get well soons.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Get
that
well
very
soon,
much.
Pops. Yeah.
Yep. Buddy, you got any words for the people?
Man, just take care of yourselves, take care of your loved ones, drink water, all that good stuff, as Miss Erica Felt reminds us every day. And yeah, catch the same time, same place, man. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. A big shout out to the senators, Terrell, Mckinney, and Justin Wayne. Put some respect on their names for doing the good work, man, and just making sure the people are informed and that they're transparent, man. You don't get that from a lot of senators. A lot of senators just out making decisions and a lot of backdoor deals and behind the scenes handshakes. But again, these brothers are up front, and what more can you ask for? So definitely appreciate that. And man, appreciate y'all. The chat always like really enjoy. This isn't a one-way thing, and that's one of the things. That's actually why I didn't go into being a reporter and on TV and writing. I want to talk to people. I want to engage. I want that back and forth. So I definitely appreciate everybody chiming into the chat, letting their thoughts be known, letting their mind be free, letting their voices be heard. Most importantly, we appreciate you. We love you. We thank you as always. Constantly working on how to make this better for you. So continue to rock with us. We love you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so
we really do appreciate that very much. I love kicking
Yes.
off Monday with you guys as well.
take it away.
Apologize for my particular low energy this morning. It was a hectic weekend in a
Yeah.
good way though. I had a really great weekend, like best
Okay.
weekend ever. At the same time, very heavy, very a lot of stuff going on just in general, very heavy. I was really worried about what was going on with my friends out in Maui, and other things going on. So I'm definitely gonna check in with Maui when I get off the show here. And I appreciate everybody who's putting Hawaii in your thoughts and prayers
Man.
for the big disaster that happened there. And again, thank you everybody who came out to Bud Crawford's parade, man, and showed Bud some love. So, you're appreciated, and all the black businesses that were there, congratulations. And you guys, everybody was appreciated as well. Kind of brought North Omaha to downtown, is what I'm understanding.
Yes.
That's what's up. We're going to get out of here. Thanks to the Umaha tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Thanks to our elders for allowing us to speak before them. And thanks to you, the chat chimers, allowing us to speak with you. Let's do it again. Wednesday, we'll have some special guests coming on in. Shout out to everybody who is a reoccurring member of the channel, the $10 people, the $20 people, the $50 people. Thank you so much for everybody that is donated to the cause. If you have so inclined, go to firstskyOmaha.com, hit the donate button, and help us keep this going. Thank you to everybody that came out to the Content Creators Camp last Saturday over at the Culture House. Shout out to the Culture House for hosting that with us. Shout out to Augie Kid who set the room up for us. And shout out to everybody that showed up. Really appreciate it. You will be getting a new newsletter in your email box about where we're going to be at next week and who's going to be the instructor. I believe it's going to be Abby Kretz and Dr. Z are going to be together. Showing us giving us some more skills on how to be citizen journalists.
Yeah, man.
You can go to firstskyOmaha.com or actually you can go to the Facebook page, First Sky Omaha, and it's pinned at the top where you can register. If you want to register for those classes, you can jump in at any time. It's a course that we're putting together. We got about 10 weeks left. So hopefully we'll see you out there next Saturday at 10 o'clock. And you'll hear more about it during the week. We'll definitely talk about it on Wednesday, what's coming. So thanks to everybody that showed up and that's supporting that. Thanks to all of you guys who are supporting that. Rome's Review said we got 217 subscribers with 5 new this season.
Okay.
Did that very much.
Oh,
and, go ahead.
Really quickly, that's reminded me again. We are trying to monetize the YouTube page. Again, all we need is 500 subscribers, so we're about halfway there. Thanks for reminding us, Rome's Review. Again, if you have not subscribed to the YouTube page, if you're a ghost listener, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Come to YouTube. Help us out. Help us keep this thing going and trying to monetize our YouTube page. And so just about 260 more, 270 more subscribers. So yeah, help us out.
Yeah, tell a friend, like and subscribe, all that good stuff.
All that.
Brooke is cracking me up. She said McKinney owns Wayne a drink.
Oh yeah, steady him up.
driving by and walking, waving too. That's cold.
Oh man.
Thanks to everybody that joined us, man. We're gonna go ahead and let you guys get out of here. We don't believe in the concept of time, but we do believe in the concept of agreements. And we agreed that we shut it down at 9. We broke our agreement. It's 9:05, but we appreciate the grace of you guys letting us give all the thanks that we want to give before we get out of here. So thank you for that. And we will see. Thank you. And we will see you Wednesday. Take care of yourselves. It's supposed to be a cool day today, man. Might have to take a little Lucky out, put the top down. It's supposed to be like 76 degrees out there today. That's my kind of weather.
Okay.
My kind of weather.
Yeah, man.
Might see me out there rolling today, but we'll see. But again, you guys take care of yourselves, and we will see you soon, Wednesday. Peace.
By the way, Vanglorious, this is protected by the Red